Bring all the original document, and this scholarship is very new. This will at least book 1 or 2 days of accommodation in advance. Can I study in China without knowing Chinese? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Saloni and you're watching Shally Tales. So I'm back with another Q&A, and in this video I'm gonna answer some more questions regarding application process, a little bit about scholarship, and about life in China. So yeah, but before this, if you haven't seen this video, go check it out. But now let's just get started. Like the previous video, this video is also gonna be in segment. If you want to know about some specific topic, you can skip to that part. But I would advise you to see all of the video because every part is kinda tips and tricks about living in China, about how things goes. So yeah, let's just get started. First thing is application process. So for this segment, I'm gonna take an example of Zhejiang University, like how to apply in Zhejiang University, and we're gonna get in deep, like starting from passport, visa, application process, residential or student visa in China, and so on. So let's get started. So first thing first is passport. You need a passport to travel abroad. So you need to have a valid passport, and the passport validity should be more than 1 year. In official sites, it has written like, oh, the validity should be 6 months or above, but I would recommend at least have 1 year of validity. Sorry, I just fumbled there. Then you have to choose your program first. Suppose you're going for undergraduate, master's or PhD. Most people are gonna go for bachelor's, so I'm gonna talk about bachelor's. But masters and PhD are gonna go along with. So suppose you choose Zhejiang University as per our example, and you choose to do undergraduate in computer science. This is just an example. You can choose any program, any university you want. So for applying in this university, first you need to prepare some documents. So here are some documents. Valid passport, as I just said, then mark sheet of your high school. In our case, it's 10th and 12th mark sheet, both, not either, both. So, or if you are not doing like CBSE, ICSE or any state board, you can choose like it should be equivalent to like the high school marks, right? And you can choose according to your high school criteria, I guess. Then you need graduation certificate. It means graduation certificate in the sense transfer certificate from your high school, or like a certificate that says like, oh, you have completed your high school, you are eligible to pursue your higher studies. Then you need passport size photos. Let me point out some things. You should have so many passport size photos with you before going to China or after going to China, because everywhere you need these photos, everywhere. If you go to medical checkup, anywhere you would need a passport size photo, and it's better to have it in hand, you know. Then you have personal statement and study plan. In some Chinese university, you need either you have personal statement or you have study plan. But in prestigious universities like Zhejiang University or any other good university, you need to have both. I would recommend you to have both, even for not that prestigious university, because they might ask for it. So it's better to prepare that. Then you have recommendation letter. This is very necessary. I took recommendation letter from my 3 professors or teachers, you would say. And I would also recommend you to have more than 2. 2 is okay, but I would recommend to have a little bit more, maybe 3. 4 is too much, 3 is like a sweet point. And then you need English proficiency proof. So in some universities you can get with like your school English proficiency. For example, you have studied your high school in English, so you are automatically eligible for your university English programs. But in some universities you need to have IELTS or TOEFLs. So in our case, we are choosing Zhejiang University, which also requires IELTS or TOEFLs. Mind my throat. Then we have HSK certificate. Okay, yeah. So you have to choose an English program or a Chinese program. Suppose you are choosing computer science, so you can study computer science in English or in Chinese. If you're studying in English, you need English proficiency certificate. If you're studying in Chinese, you need to have HSK or Chinese proficiency certificate. Mostly if you're studying in Chinese, you need to have HSK 4, but I would personally recommend you to have HSK 5 because the universities, the teachers mostly prefer HSK 5 when like admitting students. So it's better to have HSK 5 than 4. Then you have any additional documents required for your specific major. Suppose you're applying for computer science. For computer science, mostly you don't need any other documents. But suppose you have like gone in a hackathon or something. If you have a certificate, I would recommend you to also add this to your documents because it will help your application process. But if you don't have it, it does not matter because it's not that necessary. It's just like if you have it, it's okay. If you don't have it, then it's totally fine. And for suppose you're applying for architecture programs, it's better to have like any art program certificate or something. But also if you don't have any, it's fine too. Then move on to the next step. Apply online. You have to go to Zhejiang University International Student Application portal. There are 2 portals for Chinese students and international students. Mostly you would find international student application system very easily. You just have to go there and then put all of your documents, your information, fill out everything, and then you submit and then pay your application fees. Let me clear this out. If you don't pay the application fees, university does not even look at your application. So I would recommend to pay the application fees. Also, this application fees mostly gets returned to you after you get admitted. Suppose you apply in like Zhejiang University, you pay the application fees, so they will give back this amount back to you once you reach the university. Then you wait for them to reply to you, to get back to you, to get your results back. So suppose you get your results back and you get admitted to the university. Congratulations. Now, university might ask for you for some more documents. Mostly they don't ask, but I have heard some cases where they have asked some additional documents, suppose a letter from your principal or something else. Mostly they don't ask, but if they ask, you provide this afterwards. Then if you get admitted, as I said, you would get 2 certificates back from the university. First one is admission letter. Ask if they forget to give you, ask for it. Admission letter is crucial because yes, why not? Then you have to have visa document, which is also known as JW202. What is this and why is it required? Let me tell you in short, and when we go to the visa process, I will explain it in further. So JW202 form is like a visa document which is provided by your university, which tells like the visa office like, oh, this student is gonna study in my university, please give her visa. So it's also required. If your university don't give it, ask for it, like ask for like, oh, I'm admitted in your university, please give me admission letter and JW 202 form. It's very necessary. Moving on to the next step, which is apply for X1 visa. This one I'm gonna talk about India. If you don't live in India or you are some foreign individual, it can vary, but mostly it's the same. So for applying an X1 visa, you need to have an appointment for like Chinese embassy. In my case, I did not need an like appointment because that time no one was going and the embassy was mostly empty. So it was quite easy for me. But if your embassy requires for an appointment, please check that out in the official site and book an appointment. After booking an appointment, take these documents that I'm going to tell you now, which is passport, obviously, admission letter, university issued visa document, which is JW202, the one that I just told. Then visa application form. This form is like you have to download it through Chinese embassy, like the website where you book appointment. You also have like a visa application form. You have to download it, print it out, fill it, and take it with you. Then we have recent passport photos. Bring at least 5 or more, because sometimes the embassy says like, oh, this is wrong in your, like there's like some mistake in your visa form, so you have to write another visa form, then you require another photo. So take at least 5 or more, like have a backup. Other document requested by visa center. Usually overall in India there's no other requirements, but they can like in specific cases you might need additional documents. Also, someone asked in the comments that do they need like a medical form and police clarification certificate. I did not need police clarification certificate because when I came to China I was only 17. So, and since I was underage people don't get like a police verification certificate. So they did not ask for it, like the visa office did not ask for police clarification certificate. But if you are over 18, I would recommend you to take it with you. Most of the time they don't ask it, but you don't know their mood. They might ask it, so just take it, Then sometimes some university also ask you to fill out a medical form. In Zhejiang University currently they are not asking for it because if you come to China you're gonna have medical test anyway. But some university do ask for an additional medical checkup before you come to China. So they will give you a form, like you have to fill out, like your doctor have to fill out and then doctor have to sign it. Mostly they don't need it, they don't care it. But if your university asks for that medical form, then you need to take it to visa office. But if your university did not ask for that medical form, you don't need to take it to visa office. And the form, the university will send you the form. You don't need to search it online or something. Next, travel to China. And some people also ask like, do you need to book flight before applying for visa? No need. You can apply for flight after you get the visa. It's perfectly fine. So now you have to travel to China. You have to book your flight, go to China and book accommodation. Sometimes if there are like so many people and you might not get your dorm on time, so I would recommend you to at least book 1 or 2 days of accommodation in advance. when I came here, I booked 2 days of like a hotel near the airport because it was very near. And then like when I got my dorm, I moved in my dorm. So I would recommend you to have at least 2 days of accommodation prepared in advance. You can book online in trip.com, in other sites like that. I would say book in trip.com because trip.com works very well in China. They didn't pay me to say that, I'm just advising you guys. When you come to China, bring all the original document as well as a photocopy of it. Original documents are required, it's necessary. Please don't forget that, it's very crucial. Okay, and if you don't bring the copy, you can copy. There's so many like printing shops, so you can copy there, or you can bring from home, up to you. Next step is complete registration. When you come to China, you have to register to your university. Go to the university, say that I'm here, and then you have to do some steps. It depends on university to university. In our case, it was like university asked for us to like fill out some form, take medical test and stuff and other things. Now you have to apply for resident permit in China because now you're in university. You need to have another visa. Okay, this visa is separate from X1, X2 visa because that visa requires you to come here, but this visa requires you to stay here. So if you want to stay here, you need to have a resident permit. For this resident permit, you need to have a medical examination, which has to have in China. When you come to China, you have to take a medical exam in China, and then you have to pay somewhere around 500-600 RMB for that. Then you take that medical form and all the documents like which you already prepared, and some of the document that your university will give you, like accommodation proof and other things. University will tell you like, take these documents. Universities here are very helpful, so they will give you all the documents. Take that documents to the visa center and apply for visa. And it's very easy actually applying for visa. You just go there and then print out a form again, fill out your information. It's click a photo and then give all your documents, and what else? Yeah, give your passport, and then that's it. It barely takes like half an hour or less. It's very fast process. So for me, when I came here, there were like many people. Still, it took 45 minutes for me to go there. Like after I went there, it took 45 minutes for my turn to come and submit everything and then go back. So after 45 minutes, I was done. So it's very fast process. So when you apply for the resident permit, congratulations, you got your resident permit. And now you can officially live and study in China. So yeah, this was all the application process. If you want to know more about the scholarship, you can check out my previous video. If like you have some more questions, you can comment down below. But let me tell you a little bit more about some scholarship. So we have some scholarships such as CSC, Zhejiang Provincial Scholarship, your university scholarship, and major or service scholarship. So if you want to apply for CSC scholarship, you have to apply in your country. If you want to apply for Zhejiang Provincial Scholarship, you have to ask your university to apply it. Your university applies on behalf of you. If you want to apply for your university scholarship, then also you have to tell your university that I want to apply for scholarship, and they will consider you as a scholarship individual. And other scholarships such as a major scholarship or a service scholarship depends on your overall activity that you have done in the university, and this specific scholarship like the major and service scholarship will start from second year. This scholarship is very new. This was not like until last year. This scholarship did not exist. This started this year, so you have a chance to grab it. So yeah, that was all for the application process and scholarship. Let's move on to the next segment. So in second segment, I'm gonna answer that you might have before coming to China, right? So someone asked me like, is it safe for international student? As I already told in my previous video, yes, it's very, very safe. I have gone out at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. completely safe. Like, it's really, really safe because there are so many cameras, so many good people, and like the police actually works, so that's a great thing. How much does it cost to study in China? Trust me, there's a spectrum, because you see, I have seen some university cheap, like very cheap. But I have also seen some university like hella expensive, which I would give an example. There was this university which like charged per semester, not per year, and per semester charge was like 220,000 RMB, which like I think is absurd for some reason, but I don't know. If you like to go in that university, up to you. But for me, I think it's quite high. Can I study in China without knowing Chinese? You can study in English. But if you're studying in English, you have to, like, suppose currently I'm studying in English in computer science, like I'm studying computer science in English. There's a requirement before completing your graduation, you have to complete HSK 4. They will teach you Chinese in your university and you have to complete HSK 4. And I have completed HSK 4, good for me. And if you don't complete HSK 4, they will not give you your graduation certificate. So you have to study Chinese if you're in China. Which cities are best for international students? This question was going around for so long and everyone has different opinions, but I would say Shanghai, Hangzhou, and Chongqing are the three top liked university, and Shenzhen too, are liked places by international students. Mostly if you see students, they will go to Shanghai or Shenzhen. These are the top two places where international students love to go. So you can see so many foreigners there. But I would say if you wanna like best places, I would say Shanghai, Hangzhou, Shenzhen, Chongqing, and Beijing. Most people don't add Beijing to it, but I would say Beijing is also one of the great places to go to China. Which university should I choose? Okay, this was also like one of the most crucial questions people ask. So let me tell you, choose your university which exceeds in your major. Don't choose with overall rating. Suppose for Tsinghua University and Peking University, these two universities ranks high in most of the fields, right? But suppose I want to go in arts, like I want to pursue fine arts or design. Rather than choosing Tsinghua and Peking, I would choose Jiao Tong University because that is very good in arts. I don't want to choose the university which exceeds overall. You should choose some university which exceeds in your particular major. Suppose you're doing computer science, Zhejiang University is very nice. So you're doing MBBS or medicine, pharmacy, Zhejiang University is very nice. If you are doing like some technical field, I've heard like Sustech University in Shenzhen is also very nice. You can check that out too. And yeah, choose your university based on the major, not overall rating. Pro tip. What should I pack before moving to China? I have this video. This is my first video in this channel and I have researched so many things before packing. So that video is video for you if you want to know what to pack. Let me recommend you few things here. You can get everything, but bring your own spices. Okay, if you live in like Asian countries, if you live in India, any any southern Asian country, if you live in Southeast, if you use spices, bring from your home. You can get here, but I have bought some spices here, like an Indian spices here, but since they are imported, they are stored in a warehouse, and that spices has that warehouse smell. How do I explain? But it has this weird smell, which I personally don't like. And you can bring spices and that stuff if you're a student, because you can say to like, I'm a student, I need these spices. So it's allowed for students to bring some of the spices. Mostly all of the spices are allowed. Milk products are not allowed, and animal products, so you cannot bring that. And you should read your airport regulations and stuff. But I would say bring your own spices, guys. Very necessary. Can I bring medicine into China? I bought some medicines because, as you know, Indian medicines are strong, like very strong. So suppose you're an Indian and you consume like Chinese medicine, that will not work as well like as Indian medicine do, because our medicines are kind of very strong. So I bought some of the medicine, but you have to have a receipt. You need receipt for any kind of medical thing. If you don't bring receipt for your medical thing, get ready for detention, okay? So bring receipt. Moving on to the next segment, which is daily life. These are some questions you might have about daily life in China, because how does the life is here? Like, is it fun? Is it complicated? What is it? So let's start. Is the food expensive? No. You can find both cheap and expensive food in here if you want to save money. I have seen so many people in my hostels who wants to save money. They cook in our dorm kitchen. Perfect. You can cook your home food as you bring your spices. Or if you want to eat outside, it's not expensive. Trust me, it's not that expensive. Can vegetarian or vegan survive in China? You can, but you have to eat your own handmade food, because if you go to like a restaurant, I have seen some vegetarian friends, like they asked me like, oh, is this vegetarian? And then the lady or the chef said like, oh yes, it's pure vegetarian, but they use fish oil. So I would recommend you to cook for yourself if you're vegetarian or vegan or have some specific dietary requirements. If you have gluten allergy, trust me, you have to cook for yourself. Outside, they don't know what gluten allergy is. It's very rare in China to have a gluten allergy, so cook yourself. What apps do I need after arriving? So you need some of the crucial apps. First of all, VPN is important. Let me tell you, download VPN before coming to China, because after coming to China, download VPN is such a hassle. So if you're in a country, download VPN, come to China and download these apps. First of all, Baidu Maps. Google Maps does not work. Any of the Google services does not work in China. So download Baidu Map and use Baidu Map. Then you need Alipay or WeChat Pay, because you need to pay stuff, and mostly everything is cashless, but people do accept cash, so bring some cash too. But everything is cashless, so you should have an online payment method. Mostly it's Alipay or WeChat Pay. It is easy to make Chinese friends. It's not. I have less Chinese friends and more international friends. You might get some Chinese aunties friend, because so many aunties love foreigners, I guess, and they will talk to you, they want to become your friend. But in general, like Chinese friends, it's kind of difficult to make, not because they're not friendly, because they don't know English and you don't know Chinese. If you know Chinese, oh, you can get so many Chinese friends. They love foreigners. So yeah. What is dorm life like? Oh, everyone here is like a family. Like, everyone is so friendly, so lively, and it's very loving situation here. And if you wanna see dorm tour, I also made dorm tour, so you can go check it out. Can I drink tap water in China? No, please don't. Drinking tap water in China is strictly prohibited. It's not up to drinking standards. So you have to have a filter in your home, or if you live in dorm, you can buy like a gallon of water, you say, and then you can consume that. So moving on to the next segment, and this segment is called How to Survive in China. So first thing first, know Chinese. So the Chinese people don't know English. There's very rarely you would see some Chinese people speaking English. So you need to learn Chinese. But what if you don't know Chinese? What if you didn't learn it? You cannot survive? The answer is you can. But for that, you need to have a translation app. Try to download an offline translation or Chinese-based translation. If you download like a Google Translate or something, it won't work because, as I said, Google services does not work in China. Next we have, is it fun to live in China as an international student? Yes, it's very fun. There's so many fun activities to do in here. You can like go to KTVs, clubs and bars if you drink, and much more. There's like an art studio kind of thing, and then you can do your favorite artwork or something. It's really fun. There's so many activities, so many places to go to, so many things to do, so it's gonna be very fun. Let's talk a little bit about work. So you cannot work in China without legal visa. You know, if you want to study and work, like, you need to ask your university, like, can I work? And if they approve, you have to apply for visa, and then only you can work. You cannot work without the visa. If you work without the visa and if the police caught you, they're gonna send you back. You can get deported. So have a visa if you work. But yeah, here are some apps, some tips and tricks about living in China, and I hope you get your question answered. And this is all for this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.